One of the questions that comes up often on some of the videos that I publish online, especially videos covering Ammi Burke and Enoch Burke and their various cases in the High Court and places like that, one of the things that comes up all the time, especially when both Ammi Burke and Enoch Burke have lost their cases, the question arises, what about legal costs? That's what I'm going to talk about briefly in this video. Firstly, you need to understand that these cases are civil cases. So Enoch Burke versus Wilson's Hospital School and Ammi Burke versus the WRC and Arthur Cox solicitors are civil cases. Ordinarily the rule is the winner takes all. In other words, the loser pays the legal costs for the winner. It is the case that both Ammi Burke and Enoch Burke have lost their cases. Ammi Burke has lost in the High Court and the Court of Appeal, and she has had costs orders made against her in both of those courts. Enoch Burke has lost in the High Court, and he's had cost orders made against him in favour of the school, Wilson's Hospital School. So what is the story with costs? Basically, it's a debt collection matter. In other words, if somebody loses a case and then have costs awarded against them, the winner is free to pursue A, the award in their favour in the first instance, and B, costs. And it is a straightforward, simple debt collection matter. So it's up to Arthur Cox and the WRC as to what they want to do in relation to the cost orders in their favour against Ammi Burke, and it's up to Wilson's Hospital School as to what they want to do in relation to Enoch Burke's costs. And that's the legal position. It's simply a debt collection matter. Now, if it is the case, you might say these people don't have the money, or there's no point going after them, or whatever. But in terms of the legal possibilities, it would be possible to go after each of them as debtors in the normal way, get judgments against them in the normal way, register judgment mortgages on properties if there was any properties, and ultimately the ultimate sanction would be bankruptcy. In other words, to bankrupt the debtors. And that's the legal position. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not saying that should happen. But people are asking me what is the story in relation to costs, and that is the position. Now, last week I saw at the weekend I saw a report online where Sunday Mirror or the Irish Mirror are reporting that Ammi Burke's costs to date between Court of Appeal and High Court in her losing battle against WRC and against Arthur Cox solicitors could be in the region of €250,000. I've no idea whether that's accurate or not. No idea whatsoever. But that's an estimate. But ultimately, that is basically a debt collection matter. Now, a creditor, a person who's owed the money, might take a view, there's absolutely no point in pursuing this because that person doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the means, and I'm not going to throw good money after bad, pursuing him or her through the courts in a debt collection process that's ultimately going to be futile. You can't get money out of a stone, you can't get blood out of a turnip, and that's the reality. But as I say, people are asking what's the story with costs, and that is the story with costs. It's a straightforward debt collection matter, and it's up to the winning parties, that's Arthur Cox, WRC, and the Wilson's Hospital School. It's up to those parties to pursue the debts, pursue the costs orders if they so choose. And it's worth remembering that at one of the High Court hearings, the High Court judge in the particular case, Enoch Burke's case versus the Wilson's Hospital School, he wanted to know what steps had been taken by the school to pursue the costs order against Enoch Burke, and he was also inquiring about the penalties or the fines that were imposed on Enoch Burke. Whether those fines are collectible by the school or not, I don't think so. I think probably the court service would be the appropriate party there. But again, it's down to the creditor essentially to chase the debtor for the money if there is money due. Forgot to mention there Enoch Burke's case against Media House. Media House is the owner and publisher of the Sunday Independent newspaper, and Enoch Burke obviously lost that case as well, and the judge at the end of that case made a provisional ruling. He's subject to, or he's open to submissions by the parties, but he made a provisional ruling that costs would be awarded to the Sunday Independent or Media House against Enoch Burke, arising from Enoch Burke's failed defamation claim against the Sunday Independent or Media House. So that's another cost order against Enoch Burke, and the exact same principle applies. It's a debt collection situation. It's up to Media House what they do in relation to the cost order, and that's the position. So that's the position in relation to legal costs, and it is a straightforward debt collection situation. And if somebody came to me and they were looking for advice about going after debt, whatever, you'd always be asking the question, is it worth going after? Have they resources? Have they means? Etc, etc. But the ultimate sanction at the end of the debt collection process, the ultimate sanction would be bankruptcy. Hope you find the video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up down below. You may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you are, hit the subscribe button, and you may be interested in watching another video on my YouTube channel, and you'll get one up here. Thank you very much.